Today we're looking at over 50 tips and tricks to help you guys in your Hearth and Home adventures on Valheim, so let's get started. You know that really amazing bird in the game that everybody really loves? You can now turn him off. Go ahead and press F5 in your game, start typing in tutorial, hit tab to complete. You can see here you have tutorial reset and tutorial toggle. So if I toggle the tutorial, his tutorials are now disabled. So what we'll do is go and talk to him. There we go, and he's gone. And he is not coming back. Also, if you want to, you might have seen there, but you can actually reset the tutorial as well. And that means that, there we go, he's back in. So now he's back for all tutorials if we want to speak to him and find out all the information all over again. But let's face it, who wants to do that? You can now name tamed pets. As you see here, if I hold down left shift and press E, I get this right here, and I can call the boar something really cool like that. And also, if you want to kill a named, or so I should say a tamed animal, you'll either have to go and toggle this to turn friendly fire on, or the better way is to use the new butcher's knife. This does huge damage against tamed mobs. You will now get multiple death points in game. You can see I've got 3 death points here, and they will show you the day that you died. I made 3 in this tutorial world to show you guys, but obviously on your worlds it would probably be different days. Now these will stay here until you right click them, at which point you can get rid of them, but this is kind of useful to see when and where you died to get back to multiple death points, something that wasn't available until the update. The other thing you can do, you can see I've got a range of icons here. On the right hand side, if I right click say the fireplaces, they will disappear. Right click them again and get them to show again, and you can do this with all the different icons you have in your game. So you can basically show which ones are showing at any one time, which is pretty cool. This also works with the death locations and also the boss locations as well. You see I've got the Elder there. If I right click here, boom, he goes off. So it's pretty customizable now. I will be streaming Valheim often on both YouTube and Twitch. The Twitch link is in my video description. If you want to keep posted on all my YouTube streams and also all my videos and stuff, then please do subscribe for more. You can now get birch seeds and also acorns. The birch seeds obviously to grow birch trees, acorns to grow oak trees. You can do that using the cultivator. Just beware, the oak trees will require quite a large space in order to grow. The new blue iron torches look amazing, and these can be fueled with grey dwarf eyes. You know that really annoying bird that we turned off earlier? Well, you might not want to do it too early, or at least turn him back on sometimes, because he will come and land at burial chambers, as you see here, helping you to find these burial chambers. Now, if you don't press E and talk to him at the burial chamber, next time I'm exploring through the Black Forest and I find a burial chamber, he will come and land on one. Now, this can be useful because they do sometimes blend into the environment a little bit and you don't see them, and you might notice Hugin coming in to land, and it might just help you to find them. Currently, the only way to get onions is to get onion seeds in game by finding them in chests, as you see here, in mountain biomes, and you'll find them in different structures within the mountainous biome. The Cartography Table is a fantastic new item in game. Here is the recipe for it on screen right now, and here's how we use it in game. This is very useful on servers. You go up to it and press E to record your discoveries, and then you can press E again to read the map. And now when I open my map, I have all of this stuff here in grey areas, and I have a Cartography Table tab right here. If I click that, the grey areas slowly fade away. So here's what I've explored on this world, and here is what everyone else has explored. And you'll even see things like their little icons that they've added to their map. So a fantastic thing to do on servers, as I say. And I'm currently doing this little clip right here on my Kysen Valheim server that I play on, stream on, all that good stuff very often. If you guys want to join the server, the link will be down in the video description. You can now tame locks using cloudberries, flax, or barley. It's easier to do once you've trapped them, and I have a full video on my channel on how to do this. When you have 2 tamed locks that are near each other, you can go ahead and chuck the same foods you used to breed them down on the floor. Over time, they will eat these foods and eventually produce baby locks, and this is what a lock's calf looks like. You can then make up a lock's saddle to ride your locks. You can see the recipe here. It requires 10 leather scraps, 20 linen thread, and 15 black metal. If we put that in our hotbar, look at the locks and press the number, then boom, we can jump up on there and ride our locks around using the WASD keys and using shift to sprint and S to stop. Another little trick with riding locks is, let's say we took all of these items right here, we'd be heavily encumbered, but if we go ahead and get up on our lock saddle, we can ride around at a normal speed, allowing us to transport many more goods than usual in a much quicker way. As you can see here, you can also get locks on a boat to transport them. Do be careful though, if you run into a serpent, the locks will jump out and try to attack that serpent. One way around this is to have a friend of yours sit on the locks if you're on a server, as locks will not try to attack enemies when there is someone riding them. Locks are able to swim out in the open ocean, and it will not use any of your stamina, so you can take them for a swim if you wish. When you kill a stone golem, you will get crystals from them, and this can be used for a new recipe. That new recipe is this thing right here, the crystal wall, which has a number of uses that I've covered on my channel, both in a video showing how to stack crystal walls in different ways really high, and in my Windows video where I use them in a number of new designs for Windows. All of that, of course, can be found on my channel. In order to cook locksmeat, you'll now need to use an iron cooking station, as the traditional cooking station will no longer work, and then you can hang it up just like you did before, but it has to be a hearth underneath and has to be lit as well before you can hang it up there to cook it. Potions are now much more important in the game. You should take them with you when you're first exploring swamps and plains and mountains, because with the new food system, these are going to help you out more than ever before. You can get butte berries by killing Grey Dwarf Shaman. They will make you throw up, so if I eat one right now, you'll see, here we go, I'm spewing up, and they'll take away all of your food and effects. Kind of useful because the new food system has some foods that are more geared towards HP, others more geared towards stamina, so you can basically use like stamina foods to get to, for example, a boss fight, and then get the HP foods out if you prefer to have HP for the boss fight. Here are the new food forks that show you whether a food is health, which is a red fork, or stamina, which is yellow fork, or more balance, which is the white fork. The Cauldron now has 3 upgrades which you will have to make in order to unlock all the recipes. I have a full Cauldron guide on my channel, but they are the butcher's table, the spice rack you see hanging up there, and the pots and pans that you see here. There are now 3 different types of meat in the game. You can get the traditional boar meat, but if you kill a deer, you'll get deer meat, and if you kill wolves, you will get wolf meat. These are all used for different recipes. You can stack chests in the game by having these little wooden supports in between them. Once you have the chest all stacked, you can then go ahead and get rid of the supports, and they will not fall down, as you are seeing right here. So there we go. They will stay up, and if I do it with these over here, you'll see we have the exact same outcomes. This is a nice way to make your storage system look a bit nicer and more compact. Instantly, this will work with the new black metal chest, which if we open up the new black metal chest, I will show you, has a lot more storage than any of the other chests in game, which is very nice. And of course, it also works with the reinforced chest. A shout out to Vok, a player on my Kysen server, who put me onto this idea of a parasol with some sun loungers, a fantastic way to enjoy your new milkshakes and ice cream. There are many new build pieces in the game, and I did a video on my channel showing every single one of them, but right now I do want to talk about a couple, which are the Darkwood poles, to draw your attention to how nice Darkwood can be, which you can get by getting tar. Again, tutorial on my channel on how to get tar, and just to say, these have the same structural strength as normal wood, so core wood is still a stronger wood than them. We also have the 2 new banners, the blue and white and the red, blue and white, that you can see here. In order to make them, they're in the furniture section. There's a recipe for blue, red and white, and here's the recipe for white and blue. We have 3 new treasure items, the treasure chest, the coin pile, and the coin stack. You can see the recipe for the treasure chest there. The coin pile taking almost 1,000 coins, and the coin stack being 99 coins. The new hot tub in game looks fantastic and will give you extra comfort when it is lit. Be sure to get some wood and put it in here. A, to get bubbles, which look awesome, and B, to make sure it's lit to get that extra comfort benefit. And there's a little bench inside that you can sit down on, and your friends, of course, could come and sit down with you for those hot tub parties. We spoke earlier of Darkwood, and here are 2 other Darkwood things I wanted to point out to you. One being these dividers in here, and the other being these Darkwood gates, which do look fantastic as doors, but could also be used as large window shutters. The new oven in game will open automatically when you run up to it, and you can put wood in, as you see here. Hold down E to stack that wood quickly. You can then put in things like your unbaked lox pies and your bread dough, and we leave it in there to cook, and you get a nice little graphic of it cooking. As we walk away, this will shut, and the smoke coming out the top tells us that this is now being cooked. Once cooked, the oven will make a noise, and smoke will start to come out the front of it as well as on top. So at this point, we could go in here and take our cooked food out. The oven will make another noise, and black smoke will start to pour out if you leave your food in for too long, and you'll be left with nothing but coal. If you don't give your charcoal kiln enough space to vent its smoke, then the kiln will actually get smoked now, and it will stop working. This is the new item, the Obliterator. It's a fancy in-game trash can. You put items in it, pull the lever, and the thunder will come down and destroy those items, turning them into coal. In order to make the Obliterator, you will need to have 8 iron, 4 copper, and a thunderstone. The thunderstone can be bought from the trader. Some of the shields in the game now have many new styles you can choose from when you're crafting them. Simply left click the style button, choose the one you want, and hit craft to make that style of shield. The tower shields are now incredibly useful, particularly when raiding something like a fueling camp or a swamp crypt for the first time, as they do soak up a lot of damage, as you're about to see. So I am in God mode just to demonstrate this, but you can still parry a fueling, but you'll see that when you do that, it will actually take up more stamina than if you just block it. So if I just hold down block here, here, let him come and hit me, and there we go. So it's much more stamina to parry these days than it is to simply block. Now, as you'll see, when I do block, I have a new stagger bar there. Now, this stagger bar, if it reaches full, you'll see here when he hits me, it goes up a little bit. If that reaches full, then I become staggered and very vulnerable to my enemies. Let's just kill him for a second. So basically, when you're blocking, it can stagger you, and it is lessened by the amount of the potential max HP that you have. So not your current HP, but your theoretical max HP you could have. And this will also knock enemies back further when you're blocking too. Again, all related to your HP. Now, you're no longer able to parry a ranged enemy. When a ranged enemy throws something at you, if you do parry it at the right time, it will just count as a block. So it is now more difficult to fight these ranged enemies when they're throwing things at you than how it used to be. Now, knives have had a big buff in the game, and as you see here, when I'm attacking with a knife, it is very quick and can do quite a lot of damage quite quickly. So they are pretty buff in the game right now. Talking about knives, there is a new knife in the game now. It is the silver knife. So this is a new knife progression on your way up to the black metal knife. You'll see many of these things in the plains biome. These are the new tar pits, and they come with a new mob as well, these growths. If you kill the growths, they will drop tar that you are able to pick up. You'll also see tar in the pits, but as you see here, when I try and pick it up, it gets stuck in the tar. As such, you need to dig these big pits next to the tar pit in order to enable yourself to get in here and pick up all the tar you see inside. There is a full video on this on my channel. The other thing to say as well is these growth things right here, they will respawn in the tar pits after 2 in-game days, and this will happen even if you've drained all of the tar out. They will still continue to respawn here, and that's how you can get a renewable source of tar. You can see here, locks will attack the growths, and when they get to them, they can actually do quite a bit of damage to them. So this might be a way that you can help yourself in order to kill growths by kiting your locks over to fight them. When chopping down a tree, you can now just hold left click to repeatedly hit with your axe, and this works for many things such as attacking, and also as you'll see here when I'm mining, I just hold left click, whereas before you had to keep spamming it. So this is kind of nice, and especially if you're grinding out a bit of an area, then it makes things a bit easier. You can now toggle auto pickup. If I press V here, my auto pickup is off, meaning I can walk over all of these items without picking them up. Press it again, and when I walk over them, I will pick them up. So this could be quite handy if you've got a load of stuff on the floor that you don't want to pick up. There have been a number of new emotes added to the game. If you press enter, you'll see the different emotes right there. So now if we were typing, for example, /challenge and type that in, there we go. That is the challenge being laid down by the Viking guys. The dad jokes are of course coming, but I just want to say I really hope you enjoyed this video and found something useful in it. If you did, please do consider liking and subscribing for more, but for now I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and here are the dad jokes. How do Vikings secretly communicate with one another? They use Norse code. What type of music do sophisticated frogs listen to? Opera. What did the ocean say to the beach? Nothing, it just waved. What do you get when you cross a snowman with a vampire? Frostbite. How much does it cost a pirate to get his ears pierced? About $1 an ear. Why was the broom late? It overswept.